Today, we're going to talk about something that's become a bit of a lost art, the art of boredom. And yeah, it might sound a little strange, but stick with me because it could be the most powerful creative tool you're not using. Okay, let's just get right to it with a pretty bold claim. That phone in your pocket, the one you carry everywhere, maybe even the one you just glanced at a second ago, it is systematically killing your best ideas. So, how is it doing that? Well, it's waging this kind of silent war on a part of your mind that is incredibly powerful, but also really misunderstood. Let's unpack that. First up, our war on boredom. Think about it for a second. When's the last time you were just, well, bored? Waiting in line, on your commute, even just sitting on the couch. These empty moments have become these little emergencies that we feel like we have to solve by grabbing a screen. We've literally built a world designed to wipe out any moment of mental quiet. And here's the crazy part. Every single time you just glance at a notification, you're paying a price. It's this hidden mental cost that researchers call attention residue. It's like, even after you look away from your phone, part of your brain is still stuck back there, thinking about that email or that text. It leaves your focus all choppy and fragmented, which makes doing any kind of deep creative thinking, well, pretty much impossible. So, to really get why this is such a big deal, we need to look at how your brain is actually wired. Turns out, it basically has two different modes of operating, and a lot of the time, they're competing with each other. So, let's use a metaphor here. Think of it like you've got a spotlight and a dream factory in your head. The spotlight is what you're using right now to focus on my voice, to focus on the world around you. It's for tasks, right? Answering an email, doing your work. But then you've got the dream factory. That's the part that works on internal stuff. It's where you daydream, where you connect old ideas to create new ones. It's where the magic really happens. All right, so let's get into the science just a little bit. Your spotlight is what scientists call the executive control network, or ECN. It's awesome for focusing on the outside world and getting things done. Your dream factory, on the other hand, is the default mode network, the DMN. This is your internal world where mind wandering and idea generation live. Now, here's the most important part, the real kicker. These two networks are anti-correlated. And what does anti-correlated mean? It's simple. When one is on, the other is off. They're like a light switch. So every single buzz, every alert, every notification, that's flipping on your spotlight, your ECN. And every time that happens, it immediately shuts down the dream factory. Think about that. Your creative network is just being systematically turned off, over and over again, all day long. So what happens if we flip that switch on purpose? What happens when we intentionally turn off the spotlight and let the dream factory, well, do its thing? That's where we get to the absolute genius of daydreaming. There is a psychologist, Sandy Mann, who just nails it. She says that when we're bored, our brain is basically just searching for something to stimulate it, and if it can't find anything out in the world, it starts to create its own. That's what daydreaming is, and that's exactly when you start to think beyond the obvious, beyond the conscious stuff. And she actually proved this with a brilliant little experiment. Here's what she did. Step 1, she made a group of people insanely bored. Like, how is this even a task bored? She had them copy numbers out of a phone book. Can you imagine? Then, after that, she gave them a creative challenge. Okay, now, come up with as many uses as you can for a couple of paper cups. And the result was just incredible. The people who got the most boring version of the task, they actually had to read the numbers out loud, they were by far the most creative. They didn't just say you can drink out of the cups. They came up with stuff like using them as musical instruments, as earrings. Somebody even said a Madonna-style bra. It's a perfect example. The more profound the boredom, the more profound the creativity. And listen, if you're thinking that a daydreaming mind is a lazy mind, you could not be more wrong. This is fascinating. Neuroscientists have discovered that when your brain is in that default mode, the dream factory, it's burning through about 95% of the energy it uses when you're supposedly thinking hard. So that quiet, mind-wandering state, it is anything but idle. It's doing some serious work. Okay, so this is all great, but how do we actually do it? How do we reclaim this incredibly powerful state? That brings us to our final section, the boredom protocol. And let's be super clear here. This is not about being lazy. It's the opposite. It's about being strategic, about using moments of doing nothing as a serious tool for better productivity and bigger ideas. All right, here it is, your 4-step plan. Step 1,
Disconnect deliberately. I mean it. Actually go for a walk and leave your phone at home. See what happens. Step 2. Schedule stillness. Put it in your calendar, a 10-minute stare out the window break. It sounds silly, but it works. Step 3, and yeah, this one is the hardest, you have to push through the discomfort. That first minute or two, your brain is going to be screaming at you to grab a device. You have to resist. Trust me, after a moment, your brain will give up and start creating its own entertainment. And finally, step 4, capture what happens. Keep a notebook handy, because when that dream factory finally kicks into gear, you're going to want to write down what it comes up with.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Boredom isn't a bug, it's a feature. It's not a problem we need to solve with a screen. It's an opportunity. It's the quiet space where your best, most original thinking actually happens. So the only real question is, what amazing idea is just sitting there, waiting for you in your next moment of silence?